So for part D, currently the working week is hard-coded to be 40 hours and by the variable total hours. So if we have a look at our code there, you can see total hours currently is hard-coded to 40. And hard-coded basically means total hours has been set to the value 40. It's going to be constant 40. So we want to use in a for loop to ask the user to enter in the hours worked each day, 7 days total, and then display the total hours worked in a week by an employee. So your program should look similar to figure 5, and the hours worked each day should be an integer value. So we'll be getting the hours from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to add them all up. 8 and 16, and 10, 26, and 10 is 36 hours, and we'll display that in a moment. So to do this, we come down here to our total hours. And I'm just going to comment that out because we don't want it to be hard-coded now. We want to be able to enter in values. Now what we do need to do though is we need to set total hours, we need to a way of keeping track of how many hours have been worked. So I'm setting it to 0 initially, initializing it to 0, so that as it stands, no hours worked. But when I move through the loop, and after each iteration of a particular day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to add to the total hours the number of hours that I've worked. So that's time to get on with our loop here. Now, a couple of different ways of doing this. I would say here is the first way, maybe thinking of doing it. So jumping over here to my Python reference guide, and in my reference guide here, you've got this for variable in list. So this will target directly the days of the week. So this will target the days of the week because you'll notice here how it says how many hours did the employee work on a Monday. So we need to target the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday. And what we'll need to do is we need to iterate through the days of the week. So this is one way of doing it. For maybe we could say day in days. So remember that our list up here is called days, right? And I could call this I if you want. It's up to you. Call it I if you want there, but maybe day might be a nicer name to use for day in the list days. So our first day will be Monday, but we want to get the hours worked on that particular day. And hours work is equal to, I think it's an integer value we're going to be getting here. You're either working 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever. So now we want to say here, how many hours did the employee work on Monday? So how, and don't forget, I always put in the second quote there, good habit. So how many hours did the employee work on? Now we need to get our Monday, and our Monday is going to be got by, so just let's try this first of all. So we often use commas for concatenation, and you see we're going to get an error here now. So let's just see this run through. So we've got our John, and now please enter the hourly rate of pay. So let's say 10, and now we're going to get an error. So type error. Input expected at most 1 arguments. So when we're using input, we cannot use the comma. So I must use another way of concatenating the day, and I'm going to do that using string concatenation. String concatenation here. So let's try it again. So, sorry, you won't see it down below. I clear the shell. So now we're going to say John. We're going to say 10 for the hourly pay. How many hours does it work on Monday? Here we've spotted another error. Another error I have here now is that on is flush up against Monday. So I want to go in and put a space up there. So let's stop that. So that's going to be a bit closer again now to what we want. So here we're testing as we're going along. So John, hourly pay is 10. You might see that bottom one there. So that's a bit nicer there. Works out a bit clearer. But again, it's not exactly what I want because I want a colon at the end here again. And to do that, so I must put in again another piece of string concatenation and put in the colon there and put in a nice space in for us to be able to enter in the hours worked. So that should be it now. So we have our shell cleared. Let's save this, run it again. So we've got John, we've got 10 on a Monday. Let's say we worked 5 hours, 7 hours on Tuesday, 6 on a Wednesday, 3 on a Thursday, 0 on a Friday, 0 on a Saturday, and we were called in on Sunday to work a long shift 10. And that John was paid €0 this week because we've got no way of doing any of the calculations yet. We haven't calculated the total hours. We need to keep track of it. So that's working so far. However, we need to now update the total hours worked for each day. And to do that, we quite simply say total hours is going to be overwritten with the original total hours plus hours worked. Very common convention in programming here, this little line that I've got going on here, where I'm going to get the hours worked for each day. So I'll pick it up on a Monday first of all, and then I'm going to add it to the total hours, which the first time is going to be 0. So whatever I worked on a Monday will be added to 0, and that'll be the total hours after Monday. Then when I loop around again, the next day is going to be Tuesday. Get the hours for Tuesday, add them on to what I already had for Monday, and that will be total hours will be overwritten again, and we'll have new hours worked after Tuesday. Loop around again, and we get our Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So now this should work nicely. Let's clear our shell here. Let's see this in action. And this time we're going to use these figures as well. 8855010. We should get 36 hours worked, and then 310. So let's have a go at that. So we'll run now, and we'll get John gets €10 per hour. He works 8 hours on a Monday, 8 hours on a Tuesday, 5 hours on a Wednesday, 5 on a Thursday. I think it's 0 on a Friday, 10 on a Saturday, and 0 on a Sunday. And how many hours did the employee work on Sunday? 0 tells me, it gets the thing. Oh well, I haven't shown where he's working there, so I've got to just show that as well. So there's the total hours worked out, and there are two statements here at the end. Print employee worked total hour. What is it on the sheet actually? A total of 36 hours this week. Worked a total of. You've got your total hours this week. Okay, so that will give us that now. Let's try it again once more. Save it, run. John, €10 per hour, 8 on a Monday, 8 on a Tuesday, 5 on a Wednesday, 5 on a Thursday, 0 on a Friday, 10 on a Saturday, 0 on a Sunday. John worked a total of 36 hours I should have in there. So sorry. Let's go. Clear the shell again. You can see there's always little bits of tweaking here when you're doing live coding. So please enter the hourly rate of pay 10. So it's 8, 8, 5, 5, 0, 10, 0. And finally, John worked a total of 36 hours this week. John was paid €360 this week. Job done, and that is your part D.